a website dedicated to like his stuff because he forgets a lot of it.
Yeah, well, that's a very INFJ justification, regardless of whether it's accurately describing him. So, in other words, it's accurate that he frequently forgets stuff. It's probably not accurate. That's why he's asking people to do that. Or not entirely accurate. He's got a lot of shit going on. I'm a bit of a like I pay a lot of attention to words. So, for example, before the show, Rachel read the tickets and it said something about photo ID. I also read the tickets and read what it said about photo ID. And Rachel was like, "Oh, I think we're going to need our photo IDs." And I said, "No, we're not going to need them." It said photo ID may be required. They're not going to require it of us. We don't look suspicious at all.
No.
It would be required if, for example, somebody came with a ticket that somebody else had already used to get in or something like that. But TI third may be required. You better err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
TI second goes, that means they're not gonna they're not gonna ask for it. Anyway, here we are in the after moments of the Johnny show. I'm not sure how good the quality of the video you're watching on that end is because last time we were at the Madonna Inn, which is where we are now, we found it impossible to live stream. The Wi-Fi was so bad, but it is currently 1:05 in the morning. So even though there are no vacancies at this hotel, every room is booked. Despite that, we're seeming to be okay on connectivity at the moment. Maybe they've improved it since we were last here. Or
They-
maybe rock bottom is a particularly bad room for Wi-Fi. That's possible too. So anyway, we're here in the room not to talk about the Banana Inn, but rather to discuss this show. I think we should probably like sit down rather than just stand here.
Yeah.
Um,
We've been
We've
standing
been standing and dancing.
and dancing.
I'm just dancing. I like it here. I like this. I like this home of your bridge. Um. So, I think we're both a little bit kind of punch drunk from the extremely effective Johnny show we just watched. The thing is, I don't like going to shows in particular, in general, and you gotta really be just knocking it out of the park. If you're making very many mistakes, I would just want to say maybe
Yeah.
it's having problems. But let me see what the Mia says.
Thank you, Winston's mom.
No, it streamed at the concert probably, but um, not impossible. Somebody did, but okay, we're good. So, the thing is, it's not like I've really been to a lot of good shows in my life that I was really hyped up about. And was like, wow, that was amazing. It just never really quite blows up that much for whatever shows I go to anyway. Um, so it doesn't even feel like a particularly difficult claim to say this is the best show I've ever been to.
It's definitely been, honestly, I've seen a lot of shows, and that was one of the most satisfying shows. And he sounded so good. The band sounded so good.
Yeah, well, his drummer's super kick ass. The bassist is great too. Don't get me wrong, but the drummer's amazing.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of difficult stuff. I was looking at him because like I was keeping up with the beat, but I couldn't. I was like looking at what he was doing. I was like, oh my god, he's doing so much right now with his like hands. Like I was just like impressed, so impressed.
It was kind of like he was singing that song. Look what I can do with my feet.
Yeah.
I think the audience was quite hyped.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we will be. I'll be uploading shorts from that probably for the next couple of days because I took a lot of reasonably short videos. Like I didn't ever let it go on for like 5 minutes, right? It was an all ages show. And as Rachel pointed out, we were in a distinct minority as people who were over 21.
Yeah, like there were no green wristbands, like barely any.
Looking around the place, I I realized I'm pretty sure I'm the oldest person in here
Yeah.
by a good decade or so at least.
And I was like, I do believe that I was one of the only in my age range. Like, definitely there were more than yours for sure. I mean, but I think in my age range too, there were probably maybe 5 other people my age there.
I just find it shocking that that like being correct about music skews so young. Because that's the only show we're seeing. You know,
I guess it does.
I guess you just gotta, or excuse something. I mean, the thing is, I don't think my music, my music taste has definitely gotten better as I've gotten older, and I have a lot more like explicit understanding of what, why and when something's good and why and when it's not. But my music taste was actually always correct. I always just liked the good stuff. And sometimes I fought my own taste. Like, oh, I'm going to try to listen to complicated stuff like my dad's listening to because that's more sophisticated.
That's how I was with classical music. I don't really love, like, there is some stuff that I like. I like Bach. I like Beethoven, Mozart. So I like some of it, but I like the stuff that's known. I don't like know the catalogs of classical music at all.
Yeah. I like that one song that goes, row, row, row your boat. Have you heard that song?
Yes, I heard it goes gently down the stream.
I think that was written by a combination of Mozart and Bach and Beethoven.
Wow.
No Knoxville, just Johnny. Yeah, they're creative, unique, colorful. Everything he's doing is very smart, though, as well. And part of that intelligence is he's not coming off as smart, but he's aware of how all of his words are playing on multiple levels that by and large the audience is probably oblivious to.
I had no idea. I thought everyone was like just singing along in their element.
Well, like, you know, when he's doing all that city stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
and the San Luis Obispo is the greatest place to be. It's like, he's obviously, he says that in every city, but not everybody gets that.
I didn't. I totally bought it. I was like, yeah, we're the best.
He's kind of like making a joke about shows.
Oh my god, that's so meta. Oh
um,
my god, no wonder it flew over my head. I was like, yes, I was so hardcore about like,
it was fantastic. Yes. I don't think either Rachel or I have ever been quite that excited to go see a show.
no.
Maybe you were for LCD Sound System.
Sure, yeah, I
You're
was, but
pretty excited about that.
yeah, that's my number two concert. This was absolutely number one. Like, we were so close. We got really nice, like, we had like really nice standing area, and like me being short, I was still able to see the stage and him like fine. Um, and I like knew a lot of the lyrics, so I sang. I didn't know all the lyrics. I was really surprised at how many I didn't know actually, and how many some people knew. Like he said, the whole first row like knew like every lyric to every song. Like that's
Yeah, we maybe weren't quite as hardcore as that. But you know what? They may have encountered that album a couple of months before we did.
yeah.
They may have had a couple months more time with it. Anyway, it was. I was impressed by how how well they executed their songs live, and how seamlessly the samples were uh, were fed into the mix from some sort of automation in the underneath that piano. You know, they would go back there and mess with it, and but or some of the samples may have been cued from the back where the soundboards were and stuff like that. I'm not sure. The drummer was not cueing. I remember I was hypothesizing about how they were going to get the samples in.
Yeah.
It wasn't the drone. I hypothesized it could be either, you know, they have a fourth guy somewhere like off to the side that's pushing it. It could be cued by the drummer, etc. I think it was mostly cued by Johnny with some device under the piano.
Yeah. Wow.
Because I saw
That's
him go back
crazy.
there and twiddle with it, and then, you know, he'd have a sample coming out the next as he walks away from it, coming into the mix, you know.
Oh.
So, anyway, I'm not exactly sure how they incorporated all the different samples. They had a variety of like background vocals that were sampled in, but it sounded so like seamless and live. It didn't sound canned at all. It just sounded like it was really well done though too.
He opened with a song that I sing a lot of times for karaoke. Mr. Brightside by the Killers. And then he opened up officially with the intro to Never Fair, Always True.
Yeah. The thing is, I think it helps in interpreting that show. For me anyway, when I think about um, the fact that he's older than most of the people there,
Yeah, he is.
and yeah, you really get the sense that he's aware of that.
Yeah.
Um, which makes us very strange.
He definitely stuck out like a sore thumb, but I didn't in a bad way.
No, not in a bad way. We didn't cause any problems or anything.
No, we didn't cause any problems at all.
Yeah. I like the fact that he no, there was no weed smoking inside or other
Mm-mm.
kinds of smoking inside. Um,
Some people were drinking, but barely any.
yeah, you could get alcohol there. We don't
But
drink
yeah, we
alcohol.
had, yeah.
um, and so we didn't get any food or anything. So yes, we did get merchandise though. I
Yeah, we
will.
did.
I will show you one of the merchandises right now.
He played E Pro by Beck. So good.
He also did a Taylor Swift cover.
Yeah, he did a Taylor Swift cover too. And I forgot about that song.
I got this keychain. It's always fair, never true. Signed by Johnny. No, I'm not able to sneak back. He didn't attempt to sneak back.
No.
Um, this signed keychain was $13. I think a fair price for a signed keychain.
No, we didn't. No.
No, they weren't out in the audience at all. And they went from backstage to stage to backstage.
I wouldn't be surprised if he spotted Eric a few times.
I was probably the tallest person there.
Yeah.
Um, and additionally, they played an afternoon show in Santa Cruz. And then they played a 10:15 show here in San Luis Obispo. So I think they're they're running a pretty hard schedule, you know. I get that they're young, but one still gets worn out by something like that. And they're leaving for Vegas probably right after that show on the tour bus or something. I don't know. I'll upload plenty of shorts. And Johnny doesn't seem to copyright people for filming his concerts. In fact, at one point, he asked everyone to take out their cell phones. He told people that if they take whatever video they take, to please upload them to his website, johnny.com. So I've seen shit tons of videos from his concerts on YouTube.
Yeah, that's true. You have.
So the thing is, I have a feeling my shorts are going to do a lot better than those videos people upload. People upload like one full song of his or something. My shorts will do a lot better, I think. I mean, I have material to go through, but
Yeah,
they're all the videos I took are no more than like 1 minute long. But I still have to cut to like 10 seconds from that. Unlike some people on YouTube. I'm not to Michelle Shocked one's fan base. I like using Michelle Shocked as a verb like that one.
yeah, me too.
The only direct object Michelle Shocked as a verb can have really is a fan base or a random YouTuber. This is not the only merch we got. Rachel and I each got a signed hat, and she got a signed keychain too. It's different than mine.
Yeah.
Hers is the other kind of keychain I have.
Yeah.
And we each got a signed hat, and we each got a signed keychain, and we each got a t-shirt.
Yep.
We each got the same t-shirt.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. There were several designs to choose from, but we both liked the same ones, and we both got the same one. And I had planned to get a signed poster for his new album. And, well, I would have bought that shit even if it hadn't been signed.
Yeah, he posted it on Instagram yesterday, like letting Santa Cruz people know, hey, there's going to be signed merch. And I let Eric know, but I wasn't sure if there's going to be signed merch for our show. And then
We went in and there was.
we were
Um,
like, no brainer.
yeah, because the thing is, the prices of his shit there for signed merch was the same as the prices
Mm.
for unsigned merch at most shows. You're not gonna pay for any concert T-shirt any less than $35, right? How much did we spend for those hats? It was like $20 a piece or something. Yeah,
Yeah, 25, yeah.
25 a piece. Okay, so a signed hat is $25. I don't think you had the option to buy an unsigned hat, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. He didn't have any unsigned hats. If he had just charged $25 for the hat, I would not have thought, that's too much. I expect you, if you're buying merch at a concert, it's going to be greatly inflated prices.
Yeah, it is. It usually
And
is.
so he's basically what he's done is said, okay, I'm going to do that sort of. I'm going to charge $25 for a hat, but I'm going to sign it. So they get a little bit more value out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I think he's done. He feels like, I feel gross selling $25 hats. But it's like, but how can I resist? I keep selling $25 hats. Well, so he compromises by just signing them so that people will be like, okay, well, it's not just a regular hat, that's a signed hat.
It works.
Mm-hmm. That's INFJ extra brilliance, right? He's being all like, but he's also not glutting, he's making it at least look like the market is not being glutted because they only have a few of the things out where you can see them.
Mm.
So he's killing it in terms of a lot of decision making. I didn't feel like I got ripped off going to that show. And the actual ticket price was like $22
Mm-hmm.
or something each ticket. I mean, that's very reasonable. And then he only pitched his merch one time during the show. He's very effie aware. He's like, not only is he only going to pitch it one time during the show, he's going to make sure that he announces that's all that's going to be. He's going to pitch it, and to continually like work along this kind of squishy, tight-ropey thing between being a rock star and and understanding that as a rock star, he he's most well served to. It's not possible to be genuinely grateful to his audience for their enthusiasm, and failing that, to be indistinguishable from genuinely, you know, is playing like gangbusters, you know?
Yeah.
It's playing like gangbusters. And um, most importantly, it's a show where the music's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is.
Uh, and standout fantastic at a consistency level that nobody else is touching. I mean, other people may touch that level of fantastic, but in terms of consistency, quantity of fantastic things, nobody's touching his ass.
It was so fun to sing to Boy Scout. Like, so many people knew it.
Well, when at one point I said, Boy Scout, play Boy Scout or something, and the guy in front of me turned around was like, yeah, Boy Scout! So he agreed with me.
I was so excited to sing that. I love that. Love. Love, 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 love. I'm a Boy Scout for you. Love, 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 love.
Yeah, that's a good song. But I only had one disappointment from the whole show. There was one particular song that I really wanted to play, but I kind of knew that he wasn't going to play it because, well, once he got started in the set, and it became very clear that this was a tour for this album. It was going to really heavily prioritize that album. I thought maybe if we get lucky, he did play a couple of older ones,
Four
but
Towns. I was excited that he played
I
that.
was excited he played that too, but I wish I could trade it out
For He Got a Man.
for You Got a
You
Man.
Got a Man, yeah.
You Got a Man. That's what I
Yeah.
was it. Let's see.
Yeah.
I've got rubber bands in my hands. I'm pushing 6 in my pants. I just spent about half my advance just trying to get you.
You taste like
Plum apple pie. You say you're single, you lie. I saw them texts from that guy. Man, whatever. So love me. Don't give me love. Fuck me. Don't give me fuck. You try to make me think that I'm the only one, but I know. You got it, man. Yeah. Fantastic song. I really like that song. But he didn't play that one. He played pretty much every other song I would have wanted him to play. He played Wide Eyed, he played Strawberry Chainsaw, he played Tombstone Gray, he played La 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 La. He played
True.
Fall
in Love.
Fall in Love. He played Giving Up on You.
Yep.
He played, what's that one? Standing in the corner, not quite myself, cause I'm someone else without
True.
you. Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
He played that one. And he played Trigger of Love. He played Honey Pie. He played Sabotage My Love.
Yeah, that was fun.
I think probably he thought, I'm going to choose either that or You Got a Man.
They're pretty similar.
They're kind of similar, and they're both good, but he probably chose the more popular one. Sabotage My Love just because I got a little drunk on the bus and some stuff. I'm just a stupid kid, and stupid is as stupid does. I sabotage my love, my love.
His mom, and I think he said stepdad. Maybe his dad.
Yeah, I understood it in some. I don't remember why I understood it like this, if I heard it or what, but I understood it as him saying something about a dad, but not necessarily. I don't remember there being anything about a mom.
Yeah, I remember the mom.
Oh, you do? Okay. Stepdad is more likely because of the song lyrics. We know that like his dad is lonely.
Yeah.
So maybe not in his life.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember what he said, but I definitely remember him saying his mom was there. And he made them hold up their hands. I didn't see their hands, but that was cool.
Well, he's a great team player. How much did he make sure his drummer and bassist
Oh my god.
props,
More than I've ever seen in any show.
Alright, well, because I think those two guys, like, they were the same two guys that were in, like, the video for, um, Sabotage, I guess, right? When they
I
get in
don't
the
know about the
van,
basis.
the bass.
Oh, maybe You Got a Man.
No, when they get in the van, the video where they
Oh
get in the
yeah,
van.
maybe the drummer, but I don't know about the bassist. I don't think the bassist. Maybe. I'd have to look at the
Oh yeah, we'll have to
video.
look. It seems to me, I just get the feel that the bassist is not a studio musician.
Hmm.
The drummer could be, but I don't think he actually is.
I don't think he is either, but he did. He played Led Zeppelin, right?
Is that what they're playing?
I think so. On the drums.
I didn't get
After
that
E
reference.
Pro.
Oh
They.
yeah, well, maybe it was.
I was like so hyper focused.
I didn't really. I recognized the Ebro song, but I didn't know it was Beck
Mm-hmm.
or exactly what song it was. I was confused also by that Killer song because it's like singing along to all the words to this made me think it was gonna be a Johnny song. Is this a song I've never heard of his before? I don't know this song, but it wasn't his song at all. It was just another song they were playing, waiting for him to come on stage. It was just like the last one they put on before he got
He
on stage.
started singing it
Oh,
though.
he started singing.
Mm-hmm. And then it went into the song.
I think I was just confused. That probably it made me more confused about what was going on
Yeah,
with
probably.
because he clearly expected everybody to know the song, to know the words to it, and I guess he started singing it. So
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm going
I
crazy.
thought like maybe this is something really old one or something of his, but no, it totally was a cover. He didn't say that.
No, he didn't. And he officially started the show with the intro from Never Fair, Always True.
Yeah. And what was the Taylor Swift song he played? It wasn't Romeo and
This
Juliet.
isn't me. She wears a t-shirt.
Oh yeah, right.
I couldn't sing along with that one. I didn't know the
Yeah, I
lyrics.
don't know it well enough either.
I I posted a picture of Eric and I at the show and put at Johnny Utah, which is his Instagram name, is for lovers. And Delilah called Eric, and what was she like?
I was like, oh my god, Johnny's replied to Rachel's thing or whatever. And he had. But I still am confused about it because it seems to me like he was replying to somebody else saying it's a lovely picture.
No.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what did he say exactly?
It absolutely is.
So, oh, he was responding to at Johnny Utah is for lovers.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Now it makes sense. I thought he was responding to that person's comment that this is a lovely picture of you two, right?
Well, he liked it too.
Wow, great.
Yeah.
How nice of him.
That was nice of him.
I'm gonna eat some of my leftover steak.
It's a good idea.
Would you like some?
No, I'm good, I think.
Okay.
Maybe I will, and then.
Probably won't hurt you have a bite of food or two. We had dinner a long time ago.
It's true.
And neither of us ate very much of our food. I'm glad we brought back leftovers.
Yeah. This is good.
So, I'm glad we skipped the openers. I don't feel like I missed out on anything.
No.
Because I don't think this is a function of getting older. I don't think I ever really had much endurance for, like, let's go see an all-day thing where like 7 bands play.
Oh man, I did that one time in the rain. It was miserable. They had to do gimmicky stuff. Like the artists were like, Beck broke his fucking ankle walking upstairs from the rain.
But
He
worked
couldn't
his ankle.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they had to do like gimmicky stuff to like get us riled up, and then like one band threw out like ponchos for everyone to wear because it was just pouring rain. It was in where did the Giants and Jets play?
Meadowlands?
Yeah, it was at the Meadowlands.
Well, even if it hadn't been raining, the Meadowlands is a terrible place to see a show.
Oh my god.
You can see a show in a big freaking stadium like them. Those shows are terrible.
Oh my god. I learned. I did see the Beastie Boys. They were really fucking fun.
I bet.
Yeah, they were. They were worth seeing.
The problem with the stadium is twofold.
Oh my god.
One, acoustically, an open air stadium is not. It's very difficult to get good audio to the people sitting in the seats.
It was all general admission.
Or wherever they're standing or sitting.
Yeah, it is. It really is. The open air is really hard to.
It's just, there's too much space to fill up with sound.
Yeah.
When we saw the Pixies at the Rose Bowl, me and Corey and Dave and Liz, they weren't inside the Rose Bowl. They were outside the Rose Bowl on stage. A little bit better.
That is better. Inside is like intense. You really have to like watch some bad music, like a lot from the beginning. And I had to stay in the same spot for like hours, because if you moved, like you were gonna lose your spot.
Whereas, that was a very civil audience.
Oh my god, it was so civil.
No. I think it's fair to say it was a sweet show.
It really was. There were a lot of like couples there.
It was
Friends.
family friendly despite his cursing, you know?
Yeah. I liked his shoes.
I did not notice them.
Oh my god, I can't believe you didn't. You had like a good vantage point at them, I thought,
I
anyway.
wasn't looking at his shoes, I guess. I probably got them on camera at some point.
I wanted to ask you if you thought you did it on purpose or not, but they kind of look like clown shoes.
Oh, yeah. He- Like, making his actual hair look like a wig.
Yeah.
You know, having a hat on top of it to make it extra look like a wig. That ridiculous mustache he has.
He said many times that he's like brokenhearted right now.
Going through some hard times and so it's just shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I find that notion kind of ridiculous because he played a 4 o'clock show. He played a show last night in Santa Cruz. Then he played a 4 o'clock afternoon show today in Santa Cruz. He played a 10:15 show tonight in San Luis Obispo. And he got to play a show in Vegas tomorrow. When does this man have time to be brokenhearted? I just think he was saying the narrative of this song is one of brokenheartedness, going through some hard times.
What would I do if I were him? I don't know, at times he seemed to be pretty genuine about it.
Well,
Like he was like for True, he said that like that was a tough one for him to sing.
but he wrote that song at least a year ago.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is he still brokenhearted a year later? I think you're talking about
That's
the
what,
universality of brokenheartedness that one
Ah.
can glean from the song or whatever.
No, you're probably right. I just take everything so literal. Why do you do
he's
that?
doing a great job of letting everybody hear what they want to hear.
Yeah.
But Eric understands.
Yeah, because you hear the words.
Well, to that extent, I didn't fully understand that because
Oh, like I was so honed in.
he was dropping fast.
Yeah, that's what INFJs do when they're like, you know, a little manic.
Well, I mean, I really felt like he was taking responsibility for the experience of the audience, you know?
Yeah, he was.
Also remember, he was older than the audience.
Yeah, that's true.
Then to see, like, okay, he's aware that he is more aware than the audience is, and
Yeah. That would take some time.
yeah,
But there was a line at the end of the night, so.
yeah, he's definitely making money, but he's not making as much money as he could be making, in the sense that, is it really the case that he would have had fewer people, or let's say he charged $30 a ticket instead of 22? Would some of the people who went not have gone? I don't think so. I think everybody who went would have still gone. So, Stuff like that tells me he doesn't want to be subjected at all to certain kinds of critiques like being greedy or whatever.
Yeah. Sounds familiar to me. Anyway.
Something I can identify with, right? Like, you get some garbage band like Dave Matthews, I'm sure he's got various tiered levels of ticket up close, right next to Dave. You know, it can be hundreds of dollars, I'm sure.
Oh my god, my brother would pay for that. If he got his friends to go, especially.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would pay to not go to that.
I'll show you Shawn Mendes.
So, you've got, on the one end of the spectrum, a person who's least worth going to their show, Dave Matthews, and he wants to maximize his own profit. And you got somebody who's most worth attending the show, and he feels uncomfortable about maximizing profit. It looks stupid. Anyway, I'm just
My
joking.
mom thinks he's a dreamboat.
I don't have really an opinion about him at all. Just by looking at him. I was just joking. Anyway.
I agree with Johnny. Like, fuck Shawn Mendes, whatever.
I don't know anything about him, so I can't agree with Johnny yet. I have to know something about Shawn Mendes.
Like, people knew.
So, what was I about to say? I think. Something about meow. Oh, right. Similarly, you got like me charging $100 a session and for a long time I charged less than that. And then doing a great job. And then you got C.S. Joseph trying to charge like $500 a session or some ridiculous amount and doing a terrible job. It just goes to show you what it means to be intuitive. That was a good meal. Are you done with these things?
Yes.
I am too. I'm going to throw this away now. Now, I'm going to drink water.
Me too.
You want a bottle?
Yeah.
Ready? Good catch.
Oh, thank you. So lovely. Thank you.
You got a man. Okay, so what we were about to go do is smoke a cigarette. Well, because you said you wanted to do that, remember? That's why. You insisted. What do you mean you don't remember that? I don't know how much electricity my phone has left. Hey, y'all. You're not supposed to talk to other people over. Not until you talk to me first, okay? Because I'm the important person. See, that is the sort of thing that Johnny avoided. He didn't seem like a prima donna at all. That's the grace and care of the INFJ, not wanting to make social mistakes. I don't want to make them either. The difference between INFJs and me is that they succeed.
You don't always.
You make social mistakes pretty rarely.
I feel like I made one tonight.
What do you do?
I yelled out Johnny. Like he was talking.
Oh, I don't think that's that big of a... I think you're overstating the ability of anybody to hear you from the audience.
Do that.
Your voice isn't especially loud. And,
It's not.
and the name of the artist whose show you're at is a perfectly reasonable thing to shout out at a show.
Thanks.
I'm quite confident that nobody remembers that moment but you.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, you're wearing it. Okay. Here's the problem, Mr. Man. You have left all of your other jackets, except this one, in the car. You had at least one other jacket in here, but then you took it back out with you to the car. And you did not bring it back in with you. So now, you're going to have to brave the coldness from here all the way to the car with just this one jacket to keep me warm. I think I'll make it.
I think you'll make it too. I believe in you.
And I believe in crystal light.
Was that how the...
I believe in crystal light because I believe in me.
Oh my god.
Right? I believe in crystal light because I believe in me.
I'm glad you do.
Yeah. Crystal light has been empowering me in a lot of really, really powerful ways. Okay, so I guess I have all I need for the moment to go outside and smoke a cigarette. Except for...
Oliver Lion said something funny. The only troll I know lives in the river and steals food from boats.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes he leaves the river, comes to this channel, and is extremely toxic. Okay, so I've got my keys to the car. But, Eric, the real question is, do you have a key to the room? A moment ago, I would have had to answer that question no. Fortunately, now I can answer it yes. I'm going to tuck this in my butthole. I mean, my pocket. Like here it is. Look at it peeking out. Ooh. You know what I could do? If I really wanted to be sassy. Well, what do you think about this? This pink robe. It says Madonna in on it.
one too.
Okay, well, I think I will wait at least until I get back inside, rather than trying to take that.
Oh my god, my
Put
voice
that on
is
now.
shot.
Yeah, we both did a lot of screaming and just half screaming, half singing. There it is. I put it over there. As I was saying to Rachel in the car earlier, I think a good jutsu / wizard spell attack, or whatever we call objects of frustration, objects of plenty, or something like that, where it fills all your pockets with a bunch of small objects that you then cannot keep track of, causing you to spiral ever more into despair, or just spend literally all day just going from pocket to pocket looking for either your glasses or your lighter, your cigarettes, or any number of different sized screws, nuts, and bolts that you now have in your pockets. Unsorted, multi-sized screws, nuts, and bolts. So, as you can see, here at the beautiful Madonna Inn, everything is wonderful. I was kind of thinking I was maybe gonna take mushrooms this evening, but I decided against it. Rachel and I went and got some edibles, which we ate some of before the show, and then the rest of them when we got back here after the show. But not feeling it a whole lot, the weed, because the edibles, because I think probably outweighed somewhat by the other kinds of edibles that we had, which were amphetamines. Not that there really are any kind of inedible amphetamines that I can think of, but unless the amphetamine is adulterated in somehow a foreign substance. Okay? Meaning like a substance from Mexico or Canada. It's a little chilly, so I'm gonna turn on the heater while I sit here and smoke. Once this gets a rolling, we'll get a schmolling, as they say. I'm not really sure who they are in this story, but they say that. Did I bring my glasses? Yes, I did. How good of me. I'm really winning a prize today. A prize for keeping track of my... I'm just running off to the car to smoke a cigarette. And I turned it on because it is cold. And I wanted to turn on the heater. But as you may know, as I'm sure you do, the heater will not work. It will not work unless the car is running. So Others will just stay cold. The heat will just never come hot. So I'm running the engine so that I can have warm air. I already have one jacket on. How cold are you gonna get all of a sudden, San Francisco? Sometimes it is amusingly gullible about saying shit like, "Boy, San Luis Obispo, you're the best city. Those stinkers up in Santa Cruz, they weren't nearly as good as you." He's obviously saying that in every city. It's not that he genuinely thought the San Luis Obispo audience was extra great or whatever. But maybe, I don't think Rachel's especially gullible like that. I just think, maybe, probably 98% of the people there didn't think about it like I did, maybe. So, I don't know. When I heard that stuff, I just kind of laughed. Because it seemed like he was playing with that, you know. He was playing with that art object, this idea, this concept of, "Hello, Detroit! Are you ready to rock and roll?" He was enjoying doing things with those various tropes, and I think it's a good effect. Never being explicitly comedic, really, you know, but still being funny. And I, I'll admit, I experienced a little bit of front of the stage. Front. Are you still disconnected? Well, apparently not. But yeah, I suspect that probably not very many of us there thought about that stuff, really. I think in general people take things very much at face value. Especially when the cues aren't explicit, you shouldn't be taking it at face value. And he's using ambiguous language that can be interpreted in a couple of ways sometimes, and it's like you you would never be able to quote the guy and say, "Hey, he said something bad," or "He's making fun of something," or whatever. He's ultra medium aware. I'm gonna take your word medium aware and turn it into media aware, medium aware. Medium being music. If music is a medium, then sculpture is a psychic. Somebody said one time, I think the quote was, "Writing about music is like dancing about architecture." I thought that was pretty funny. But maybe it wasn't writing about music. But maybe it was. So I don't know. Dancing about architecture sounds like a fun thing to do, though. What are you doing over there? I'm dancing about architecture. How can we tell? Well, it's subtly embedded in my body language and in my sign language. That was a very curated experience, right? That show was it was leading the audience rather than in what would be what you might call an organically occurring synergy. But I don't really think anybody can tell the difference. And if you lead them successfully and it works, then functionally there's very thin difference. But I can understand the difference. Like he's got a clear path and vision from going into these shows from the get go. And he's refined it now over the past 6 months or so that he's been touring, 4 or 5 months or however long. he's not going to be he's not going to allow it to happen that there's a night where a flat audience makes him flat, you know. He will be responsible for the audience not being flat. And but you can I can get the sense that like maybe he's got to psych himself up before a show or something. It's not naturally. He's an introvert, you know. He doesn't come across as an introvert on stage, but he's an introvert, and and the only way that probably he can make it work night after night is to try to trigger his own FI in certain spots, even though he probably doesn't like that. Maybe he just doesn't trigger at all anymore, you know. You can only hit your own like sore spots so many times before they stop hurting. But there's never anything inauthentic about him at the same time. That's the magic of INFJ. They can both be extremely carefully crafted, and we're just extremely careful, you know, and um, not be a phony. It's like, in order to avoid that, they're willing even to feel things authentically. I think Rachel feels a lot of things authentically. Um, I believe that she genuinely loves me, and certainly I love her. Like in that instance, sometimes I see Rachel being happy in off moments where she's not paying very much attention to herself and how she's displaying occasional moments, you know. I don't think either of us is especially accustomed to being accepted for who we are, you know. Either Rachel, neither Rachel nor I is especially accustomed to that. I think we're probably both accustomed to the alternative in which we're our partner is attempting to fix us. What's wrong with us, you know? Which is obviously, if that's happening in your relationship, then you are not in the right relationship. That should not be happening. Well, we're supposed to have one of our call for certainly for Rachel's benefit, but for anybody else who remembers that, yeah, that is a Johnny lyric. Show me to you. It's true that I'm in love with you. There's nothing I can do. Of course, the next line is, and I wish it weren't true. Meow, 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 meow. Well, you know what, that boy Klaus? Whether you're smoking a joint at the dog park or smoking a dog at the joint park, either way is fine with me. I wish I had more liquid. I've just got empty bottles of water. How sad for me. It makes me so sad. Oh, wait. Look what I found. This is not what I want to drink. I found a little Mountain Dew. I don't want to drink this, but I want to drink this more than I want to drink nothing. It's windy. It's too windy to smoke a dog. Is that what you're saying? Write a song for Little Mountain Dew. Little Mountain Dew, you're somewhere between water and poo. Though not a biohazard, I'll concede. Well, that's a mountain don't. It's actually fine. I hear this stuff has a lot of caffeine in it, though. I like show media's tests of society's anti-Semitism levels. His test is rename Mountain Dew Mountain Jew and see if sales go down. If they don't, then your society is not anti-Semitic. If they do, then it is. That is, of course, unless you spell it J-O-O. It would still be pronounced Jew, but we would refer to jujubes, the candy. And that's one to grow on. So, friends, don't be anti-Semitic today or any other day, because groupism is stupism. That is to say, the state of being stupid. How does that groupers against stupid people work? Yes. Shh. Just don't talk about that. Okay, I'll stop calling them stupid. I'll call them differently smart. So the differently smart, when they come around, they they say things that are differently smart. You know, things like, "You're an old geezer," to me. Or it's naturally, isn't that redundant? I mean, really, it's like, are there any young geezers? I don't think so. You know what they say, young? They say, young geezers are bung teasers. So keep that in mind if you don't employ any young geezers around sensitive bungs, I guess. What is a bung? Well, it's a person from Mongolia. The bung people of Mongolia have long been a nomadic people, traveling the world on Viking longboats. They've already eradicated multiple civilizations before finally settling on one of the several Falkland Islands near the coast of Argentina. True story. The true untold story of that. So this is why I'm so fascinated with Johnny. Because, like, he talks quite a bit during the show. And I hate that. Normally. I didn't hate it tonight. He's very careful about the timings, you know? Talking for a amount of time. Engaging personally, like sharing parts of himself with the audience to whip up the froth of intimacy. It's all very effective, very smartly done. It's like, now there's some fucking artistry for you. I'd like to think I can appreciate what he's doing. But, you know, it's taken me a lot of time listening to kind of catch up, I guess. And obviously, I mean, catch up as a listener, not as a creator. Uh, and I would suspect that I'm actually ahead of the curve on that catching up thing, which kind of seems consistent with the fact that the audience is so young. It's like there's probably a lot of older people who are wrong about it for NI reasons. They've got some wrong NI leap about it. They're dismissive for they think it's less than it is, you know. They try to reduce it to this label or that label or something like that. Because they only maybe hear one or two songs of it and don't give it enough of a listen, even if they've potentially, let's say they're intuitive or whatever, they're well positioned aesthetically, cognitive function wise to be right about this sort of thing. It's easy to if you just hear Honey Pie, it's a great track, but it's easy to make the mistake that I made, which is to assume, well, this must be this guy's only good song. Or, oh, that's cool, that guy really nailed it with that song. That's great, I like that. That's a fun song. But in reality, it's not one of his better songs, even though it's great. I mean, yeah, it's a great song. Maybe I'm underestimating it because, well, it's a little bit more one note than the shit he's making now, you know? Like, on this new album, he's got a lot of fully realized compositions. And I wouldn't call Honey Pie, nor would I call You Got a Man, nor would I call Sabotage compositions exactly. That's not to diminish them in any sense. I uh, I really love You Got a Man. I'm just completely smitten with that song. But it doesn't feel like exactly a composition, like a song composition, because most of it's rapping. It's sort of singing, in parts. And then the chorus is just like this little hook. And the only other part of the song really is the guitar, which is quite distinctive and pops. um, but what is probably underestimated as a component by a lot of listeners, though I don't think by Johnny, uh, is the value of having such a padlocked down rhythm section. I mean, they are solid as a rock. That drummer's amazing. Great, great drummer. Anyone would be thrilled to play with that drummer. And the thing is, the bass, well, I wouldn't say the bass was low in the mix, but the bass was compressed pretty heavily, so there weren't a lot of dynamics in the bass. It was easy to stop. It was easy to not pay attention to the bass a lot of times. It was doing its job very effectively, but the drummer, maybe simply because he has more dynamics available to him because of his instrument, I'm not sure, but he really, he really had a lot to do with the successful execution of these varying moods that Johnny does, which have a lot to do with dropping out most of the drums, you know, in certain sections. Um, and, like, bam, bam. Like, instruments do that, like on the beat or whatever. He has that kind of shit going on. You gotta have a tight ass rhythm section. But the drummer is just so dynamic that um, it it really it provides like a foundation level prevention of listener fatigue by by underneath everything establishing a dynamism that probably if you're not a musician, you might not. Well, I mean, Rachel knows it, but um, I suspect a lot of people take drums for granted. Having played with various drummers in my life, I understand how critical it is to get a good drummer. And I can tell when someone's like out of the box good, and this guy is really good. I don't even know what his name is, even though Johnny said it like 50 times. I suspect that if you wanted to get in good with Johnny or make him somehow happy, if you had an opportunity to go to a meet and greet and you just walked right past him and went to the drummer and were like, "You were the most amazing drummer." That would probably make Johnny happy. He really wants to point credit to his bandmates a lot, you know. I would go up straight up to Johnny and be like, "Oh my God, are you that guy who plays with this amazing drummer?" That'd be a pretty good joke. "Oh my God, you're that blonde guy who plays with this amazing drummer." I think Johnny would probably appreciate that joke. Now I've got my glasses on, so I'll be able to read what you're saying now. I tell you, I get tired of this Mr. Miyagi glass on, glass off thing they gotta do all the time. Listen, Mr. Miyagi, you take off and put on your glasses all day long. I don't like it. It feels to my heart and other parts of me like something I don't want to do. The opposite of something I want to do. It's like I want to be able to see just fine looking where I'm walking, and then also see just fine whatever words people are saying. Instead, I have to choose one or the other. Hi, my gorgeous darling. How are you?
Good.
Are you good because of this hexagonal soap? I found that what really brings a room together is a hexagonal soap. So many soaps have 4 sides, you know, squares, rectangles. Not this soap. This soap has 6 sides because it's a hexagon. And of the gons, you know, polygons, octagons, etc., I think we can all agree that hexagons are the sexiest because their name sounds the most like sex. Hex. Agons. There, I've opened it. Wait, how you fake soap? You're not hexagonal.
It is.
This is a circle. You don't need a hexagonal box for this soap. Unfortunately, this will be really useful for my testicles because they're both hexagons actually. If I get both of, I just know the soap and I one for each testicle. It'll fit right in there in a really satisfying way. What a cheater!
Oh.
It's such a cheater soap. It smells pretty good. It smells like candy. It smells like strawberry candy.
Like a strawberry lemonade.
Hey, sirens. Remember those?
What?
I said, hey, sirens. Remember those?
I do now.
Do you remember? I don't know what I'm saying, but I think there's some song that starts like that. I just can't think of what it is exactly. I'd like to take this off now, please. I'm sorry, sir. That's on there forever. Why did you put this thing around my arm? There.
Oh.
And the cut, and the cut. There. I got it. I got it with my getter. I don't feel comfortable doing this to you, really. Let me see if I can
I
get
can
it.
get it off myself. Well, maybe not.
Here, I'll help you, but I feel more comfortable using your little scissors. I think I can do this. This one, and towards me, and away from you. There we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nicely done.
Thank you. I wouldn't want to injure my precious angel.
Aww.
And let you all rest. Rachel's often saying things like, you don't just love me for my wrists, do you? I'd say, well, I can't deny it's a big part of my lust. I see a pair of simple wrists like that. I can barely withhold myself. Let's turn off some of these lights in this stream here pretty quick and try to get at least, oops, that's not turning off the lights.
No, it isn't.
It's making them more on. How about this one?
Yes.
There we go. That's progress. All right, you guys. Can you please turn off the light that is shining from over there? All the lights are off in here. It's clearly one of you guys who's causing out this light to come through the phone. All right, well, good night, good luck. We love you. And remember, when in doubt, remember, you could always listen to Johnny.
It's great advice.
Yeah, it won't be a waste of your time. And, mwah! That's a good ending.